I'm Katie Treem. I am with the Nichols and Treem Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. I live in Scarborough and I have two boys, 9 and 5. And yeah, I've lived in Scarborough for just about 4 years. I've been in Maine for just about 16 years. I'm originally from Connecticut. And kind of throughout college and then afterwards moved my way up north. Well, I love a lot of outside activities with the kids. We go skiing and we like to play. I played hockey growing up for about 10 years. So we have a pond in our backyard. And so when we originally moved to our house in Scarborough, I was all excited for the summer because I thought, oh, we can swim in the pond and it'll be so fun. And I totally forgot the pond will freeze. So we go ice skating in the backyard, and I bought the kids new winter gear because we're gonna be outside all winter. Why Maine? Like many, I found my husband, who was then my boyfriend, we met in college. He got out of college and did not know what he wanted to do with his life. And one of his buddies was like, I'm going to Maine to be a raft guide. So my husband came here to be a raft guide. And then I followed him. So I've been interested in real estate forever. My grandfather actually was in real estate and he sold real estate well into his 90s. He passed away a couple years ago, but back when I was growing up, they'd have these like take your kid to work days. And my parents were both in like the finance industry and they'd go into New York. And so if I went with them, I'd get to ride trains and do all this fun thing. And they asked me one year and I said, I'm not going with you. I'm going with Pop, grandfather, and I'm going into his office and we're going to open houses and this is what we're doing. And so I was this 10-year-old girl following around my grandfather, going to open houses and broker open and all these things. So I got into it from him, and then my mom got into it and when I was kind of like in my high school age, and she flipped houses with her sister, and so she kind of got into the real estate industry. And so about 6 years ago, I kind of got an itch to change industries and just thought, okay, maybe I'll get my real estate license and my husband and I will get income properties and maybe we'll flip some things, I don't know. And then I got my real estate license. I had another job. I had a 2-year-old son. I was pregnant with my second child and just decided with a full-time job and a 2-year-old and being pregnant, why not add something else onto my plate? So I got my real estate license and didn't really know what I was gonna do with it. And about 1 week after I had my second child, my best friend came to me and said, I need you to sell my house. I was on maternity leave. It's like, with my current job. I said, I need you to sell my house. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I did it. And within halfway through my maternity leave, I had 4 or 5 clients. And I looked at my husband and I said, I'm gonna quit my job. I'm gonna do this. And so that's when it started. Oh gosh. What I love about Maine's housing market, especially being from Connecticut, it's affordable for a lot of people. Down in Connecticut, a starter home's $1 million. That's just to get in like a house, like a first-time house. I mean, there are other options, but that's where I grew up. And so I love that it's affordable and that, I mean, my husband and I bought our first house when we were 26, and we were like, oh, this is cool. And a lot of our friends rented, but it was just, it was an achievable thing. And you watch, Skylar's videos about, why rent versus buy. We kind of came to the, we came to the realization at 26, we don't want to pay someone else for where we live. We want to buy our own house, So I love that about it. And I love that there's, especially up here, every town is so different. And what I love about working with people is everybody's needs are so different. So Maine really fits a lot of people's different needs. So I think it's a great market to be in. Well, I gauge it off my son because I just got So I've been in just almost 6 years. Yeah, I got into it a little bit, but I got my license before he was born. So yeah, just about 6 years, yeah. Well, I got started in real estate, in my career in real estate when, the market was very hot up here. So I kind of thought like, oh gosh, this isn't gonna last. And it has gotten better and better, you know, kind of as the years have gone on. And what I thought like, you know, 5 years ago was like, everyone was like, oh, this is like a crazy market, has really only gotten more fast paced and more fast paced. And I think the good thing for me was that the industries that I came from and client management and stuff like that, it was like you were going all the time, and it was like, look here, put that fire out, you know? So it helped me kind of when I was in this industry and in this market, kind of manage it all. It's a fast-paced market up here. Things don't sit long, and I'm starting to see like within the past couple weeks, and you really have to kind of, you know, gauge it weekly right now, you know, especially this time of year, I'm starting to see like softening parts of the market. You know, there's certain price points, certain towns where things aren't going for over asking, or they aren't getting multiple offers, you know, so I know a lot of buyers are very, you know, frustrated right now because they're having a hard time finding what they want or getting what they want. And I'm starting to see that kind of lighten up a little bit, which is hopeful for our buyers. Again, I guess I would say the diversity of it, like that you have, within one town, you can have multi-units, you can have, you know, you can have a 2-family, you can have an apartment building, you can have a single-family home. It's kind of the diversity, I think, of the market. And again, it helps accommodate the different needs of everybody. Our number one priority is to keep everybody safe. And with that, you'd think things would slow down, but it hasn't. I mean, I've sold, prior to COVID, I had sold 2 or 3 houses via FaceTime, pre-pandemic. And with that, so I kind of had some experience with it. It's nerve-wracking as all get up. You know, you're like, they come and they like see the house for the first time and you're like, thank goodness you like it. But now it's just like a more common thing. I mean, I had a client that was looking during like the beginning of the pandemic where we would get on a phone call every morning with like Keller Williams, and they'd be like, these are your rules today. You know, like wear a mask, your client can't go in with you. One day, you know, my client had to wait outside and she was outside the house. I had to FaceTime her from inside the house, FaceTime the house to her, and if she liked it, she could come in. If she didn't like it, we were gonna go. But the next day, she was allowed in with me. You know, like it was just, we just had to adapt to it. And I mean, I get people got frustrated with it, but I didn't get frustrated with it because, again, people's safety was like the number one thing. I didn't want to harm the sellers. I didn't want to harm my buyers. Like I didn't, you know, I didn't want to, we just want to keep people safe and keep everybody being able to move forward to what they need and what they want, like their end goal. Like my clients want to sell their house or my clients want to buy the house, like, and so did the other person, you know? So navigating through it in the beginning was a little tough because you kind of, I mean, rules were changing pretty quickly. Now rules have been established and, you know, there's a lot of, you know, FaceTime, and, you know, I have a lot of out-of-state clients that I'm, you know, doing FaceTime videos for. And I have this like heart holder in my car for like, so I can see the maps for my phone. And one time I did a FaceTime video of the house, but then I was driving down the road, and so I just turned my camera on and kept driving, and I gave them the road, and they called me some famous director when I sent them the video, and I was like, no guys, no, I literally had you on a holster, like, and I always start, no one is harmed by doing this, both my hands are on the wheel. But I mean, you have to get creative. People want to know their surroundings, you know? So it has been a lot of FaceTime and a lot of precaution, you know? And for me, it's been good because I think I kind of tightened up my policies to keep myself safe, but also it's made me more efficient because maybe I'd have some people go look at houses that maybe they weren't like 100% interested in. Like someone really had to be interested in a house to go look at a house during these times. You're really supposed to narrow them down. And there's all these Matterport videos that people can walk through the houses, and so people have gotten very creative with the way they show places, but also with the way they list homes right now. And so it's helped out a lot, keeping everybody safe. Oh boy, okay. Most of my business is referrals. I work with people that I've known from living here. And so with that, I mean, it takes a lot of hard work, honesty. I treat my clients' transactions as if it was my own, and I work very hard for them to do that because I want them to be successful, but I also want them to think back on this and be like, she did everything she could do. If something goes wrong, I take it very, very hard, but I work through it with them, and because I am my business. So if they have a bad experience, that's on me. And I told, I think my business partner and I, Angel Nichols, my business partner, we've talked about this a lot, that I learned a lot when I started working for myself versus when I worked for somebody else. Because if something went wrong when you worked for somebody else, you were like, oh, it was them, they did it. But if you're a one-person show here and something goes wrong, that's on you. And if something goes well, that's also on you, you know? But it takes a lot, you learn a lot about yourself. And so I think it's helped being able to learn about myself and learn about, you know, things I do well and things I don't do so well. And so that I can improve my business and improve the way I work with people. I don't always agree with my clients' opinions, but that's not my job. And sometimes it's hard to get out of your own way of your opinion to help support what, you know, what your clients' wishes are. And my business partner is very good at saying, Katie, this isn't what you want, this is what they want, you know? So maybe don't say that yet because you don't know if that's what they want. And I'm like, yep, you're right, you know? So, I mean, I feel very fortunate that I have a wonderful business partner that I can bounce this stuff off of. And it's a fabulous partnership we have. But we both, why that partnership works is we both have the same type of values, you know, and what we think a good business is and what we believe, you know, makes us successful. And it's not selling $2 trillion worth of real estate. It's the quality of the interactions and the transactions and the process that we do with our clients. That really is what makes us successful and makes our business, it makes our referral business what it is, and that's our business. So you can get a hold of me. My cell phone number is 207-400-4064. Our Instagram handle is Nichols and Treem, RE. And my personal one is Katie Treem. It's findingmainerealestate.com. My email is ktreem@kw.com.